Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Mile High Huddle SI. I am your host, Kim Becker, and joining me is Chad Jensen. Now, Chad, the Denver Broncos are coming out of the NFL's public shaming in Week 12, only having to take off the juggernaut Chiefs, who have blown them out of the water in the last 3 matchups. So what is it going to take for these Denver Broncos to come out with a win on their primetime game on Sunday?
I know I kind of shudder to say keys to victory because at this stage, I think a lot of fans are like, hey, just give us keys to a close one, right? But in terms of the Broncos, look, it's any given Sunday. It's the Chiefs have 10 straight wins against the Broncos. The law of averages says that at some point that dam has got to break. Maybe it's this week. I mean, I'll believe it when I see it. But if it's going to happen, what has to occur on the field is Broncos, first and foremost, can't give the ball away 4 times like they did in Week 7. Drew Lock threw 2 picks. They lost a couple of fumbles. If the Broncos protect the ball, Vic Fangio, their defense proved the last game of Week 7 that they can keep this thing manageable. The Broncos held Patrick Mahomes to very pedestrian numbers in Week 7. Granted, it was a blizzard snow game, but also 0 for 8 on third down. So Fangio's saying, hey, look, I'm going to do my part. Drew, Pat Shurmur, you got to help us in not only, putting some points on the board, but first order of business is do not turn the ball over. Second, the Broncos have to control the trenches. In 3 of the last 5 games, they've given up over 200 yards rushing as a defense. But the good news is, flipping that coin, in Week 11 against the Dolphins, the Broncos went roughshod in the running game. I want to say just shy of 190 rushing yards, and it was easy to see why. Pat Shurmur, the offensive coordinator, made a few tweaks to the blocking scheme. You saw left tackle Garrett Bowles and left guard Dalton Reisner pulling. You even saw rookie center, Lloyd Cushenberry getting in on the pulling action, and it totally discombobulated the Dolphins and allowed Phillip Lindsay and Melvin Gordon to pick up some big yardage. So if you can control the trenches, that goes on both sides of the ball, you're going to give Drew Lock, which is key number 3, the opportunity to be good. I mean, this is a game in which Drew Lock has to have the best game of his career if the Broncos are even going to have a chance. And what's ironic about where this team stands right now is Drew Lock was drafted to compete with and beat the Chiefs. Obviously, up to this point in his 2 matchups, he's fallen well short of even coming close to doing that. But this is his chance. And you know what? Last week was an embarrassment. The NFL, obviously, this is in yours truly, in my humble opinion, harshly overreacted and chose to make an example out of the Denver Broncos. But on the field, Drew Lock he's got a little momentum coming out of that Dolphins game. That's the last time we saw him, right? And he had his most complete game. So if the Broncos protect the ball, if they control the trenches, and if Drew Lock has the best game of his career, and these are 3 big, tall tasks, it can be done. Maybe it doesn't end up in a victory, but it's at least a step in the right direction. Vic Fangio and Drew Lock telegraphing to John Elway, hey, we're a lot closer this time to the Chiefs. Let us keep our jobs.
Well, I remember before the Dolphins, you and I spoke about maybe Pat Shurmur having that eureka moment and that connection finally with his offense. So obviously last week doesn't count. Hopefully we can just forget about it and the offense can continue their momentum in this game with the Chiefs on Sunday night. Chad, thank you so much for your insight.
Yeah, thanks, Kim. Burn that tape.
Oh my gosh, I know.